Good morning. So, I want to talk a little bit about physical health, about our bodies and our connection to our bodies. So, we are multidimensional beings. That means that we are in existence in multiple dimensions all at the same time. You can kind of look at it as kind of like a spectrum of existence where this physical plane is the physical manifestation of all that is in existence in the non-physical realm. So we are like the tail end. This is where all that is in existence comes into something that is manifested in a physical form. So our bodies is an extension of us. It is our same being represented in the physical world. So, whatever our body is, and our look, and our specific way of being, and our body shape, and the way that we speak, our voice, our eyes, the way that our body is a manifestation in this physical realm, in this physical dimension of whatever it is that our essence is. This is what our essence looks like and is represented as in physical form. And just like we, our higher being, cannot be in existence in this plane without this physical body is dependent on our higher being for activation, for it to exist in this dimension. See, they are layers of existence of the same thing. So my physical body is an intertwined, completely connected, and is the exact same thing as my higher self, only manifested in this plane, manifested as a physical being. So, whenever we speak of coffee, thank you for coffee. So, this can be connected to our physical health. Um, a lot of times we are fighting against our physical being. So we don't like this about ourselves, or we don't like that about ourselves. We look in the mirror and we give ourselves judgment. And when we can completely understand that the beauty of this body, the divinity of this body is, see, what I want to say is that we this is the exact same thing, only in physical form, as my higher being. It is my higher being as a representation in the physical form, which means that everything that I am is defined, and that this body and this look and the way that I am and the way that I move and the way that I sound and the way that I do things is in exact synchronicity with my inner being, personality, what I have come to bring into the world. This is the exact, um, I want to say, like, it's not a template. It's an exact physical form that is in perfect synchronicity. They are of the same essence. I don't even want to say made for me to come through. It is a perfect representation of who I am. And so when we push against our body, push against our substance, when we see ourselves as separate than our substance, then and we don't completely embrace our body and love our body, then we are in separateness from ourselves. It means if we don't completely accept our body and how we look and and love ourselves, the physical self of ourselves, we are pushing against our own self. It is like pushing against one dimension, one part. Like you could see that we are. Um, it's interconnected and inseparable, but you could look at it in a way for conceiving it. You could see that there are multiple dimensions that we are living in, uh, um, coexisting in, all at the same time. So as I move, my thought is also processing, and I'm living in all of these different dimensions at the same time. So if this dimension is pushing against this dimension, then I'm not being a whole being, right? And where's this conversation coming up from and these thoughts coming up from? I have a friend who has had health issues, multiple health issues. So she's had different cancers and thyroids and all sorts of different representations of sickness in the physical body. And she speaks of her body as if she is separate from her body. So she'll say about her body, for instance, a conversation that we were having yesterday is that I don't trust my body anymore. I don't trust my body to be there for me. Um, and she says that that when she was a child, like she always had her body there to take her, and she could trust that her body would that she could walk long distances, and she could eat anything that she wanted to, and she could trust her body to be there. And she was even telling me about how when she was a child, she would eat chalk so that she could get a fever so that she could stay home from school, right? So this is the higher being not wanting to go to school, forcing something on the physical body, seeing herself as separate from the physical body, right? I'm going to do this to my physical body because it's not a part of me. It's not treating your body with love, right? And it's also seeing yourself as separate. And then in her adulthood, it went into her body pushing against her, right? So it's the body dimension. So she had to go and get she had to go and get she was supposed to go and get today colon check with a colonos, I don't remember what it's called, but and she became extremely sick and in the bed for the last 3 days. And she said, and the way that she said that she doesn't trust her body. She started giving her body all of these medicines. She was in a trial of new medicines. So she's putting her body through um, intense medicines and trials. And so she has abandoned her body and not trusting her body to repair itself, and taking all of these medicines which don't allow the body even the opportunity to heal itself. So she has seeing herself as separate than her body, and putting all of these chemicals and all of these things into her body um, to heal her body, because she doesn't trust her body to heal itself. And so her body now says, okay, you want to go do some kind of colonoscopy, I don't even know what it's called. You want to go do all these tests and you want to give me all sorts of medicines, then I'm going to kick back. So it's almost like her body is pushing against her, and in sequence, she is mistrusting her body. There is a separation there between her and her body. She doesn't see her body as whole. And we had this discussion yesterday, and she was able to recognize that this is true within her. She's pushing against her body, not trusting her body, and her body is backfiring and saying, I don't trust you. So there is a mistrust between her divine self in different dimensions. So she, and including and within that story, she's a childhood friend that I've known her from when she was very young, and she's always had issues with her, with the way that she looks, with the way that she carries herself, with the way that she does things. She always has this unacceptance of her physical form and her physical being. And so it is like something happened traumatically when she was in childhood that separated her from her body. And she has been living in separate dimensions. So there are aspects of her that she absolutely loves, which is her mind and the way that she thinks and her spirituality and her ability. She's extremely talented with music and mathematics and the way that she looks at the world and her perspective, and she's hilarious. She's funny. And so she loves all these aspects of her, but she is pushing against the physical form of her, which means that she is in separation because the physical form of her is her physically manifested. So it is an exact representation of her. It is not only an it is her in precise exactation. There is no separation between who she is in the non-physical, between who she is in the physical. This is just the physical manifestation of this being. It is the exact same thing. So if you are living your life in non-acceptance of your physical form, you are also non-accepting of this form. You cannot be complete without complete acceptance in all of the different dimensions, because you are a multi-dimensional, multi existing in different dimensions all at the same time. You are existing in the higher realms, just as you are existing in this realm. This realm is simply the manifestation, and this body is what allows you to have this physical experience, this life experience. It's what it allows you to collect thought. It is what allows you to process the existence, the all, the it is what allows your higher being to get expression, because without the physical plane there is no expression. There only is supreme consciousness, which is in a perpetual state of existence. There is no collection of thoughts. There is no memory. There is no projection on the future. There is only the perpetual now. When you give this body back, then you become that, just a substance of consciousness. You just become pure consciousness. This body is what allows you to have a human experience, which allows this consciousness that you are to perceive uh, and to see other things, and to have thoughts, and to have I think that words fall short here. Allows you to have this life and this experience. And so seeing ourselves as separate than our body, and talking about our body as if our body is over there and we're over here, and pushing against our body and not accepting our body, and seeing our body as anything but divine, is pushing against our own selves. And when we are unaccepting of our body, and we are almost like abusing our body, not trusting our body, giving our body all sorts of chemicals and medicines, and our body is going to start pushing against its, our body is intelligence. Our body is of intelligence. Our every single cell in our body is life and has memory in it, and it has it has its own consciousness. Even if it doesn't have, each cell in our body is conscious, has consciousness, even if it doesn't have its own um, collection of thought and thought process, which it may also have. Each cell in our body is of divine nature and is of nature. And if we do not treat our body with compassion and love, just like we would treat our children, just like we would treat our spouse, or our parents, or people that we love in our life, and love them no matter what they look like, because however they look is unique and an expression of them and an expression of who they are. And you can always see that personality, when you see somebody the way that they look, it often, um, you can see how it enhances their personality. It's like the perfect representation of the personality that they are, of the person that they are, of the collection of thoughts and particular ways that they look at things and articulate things and see the world. And you can see that divine connection. You can see that this body is a physical representation of the higher being that I am. It is just a different form in a different dimension of the essence of who I am. So this is my essence. It is exactly me. It is inseparable. It is me in the physical form. It is how my personality is manifested into this dimension. So it is all perfect and exact. And when we know this and we can accept our bodies and we can understand that we are one, we can start coming back into our bodies and sitting within our bodies and seeing our bodies as part of me, as I am a whole, as I sit in my body. Then we can start healing our body from within. We can start looking at every single, that's something that I learned in Vipassana. You can, when you sit very, very still, you can feel every single cell in your body. You can feel your inner workings. You can feel your heart. You can feel your lungs. You can feel your throat. You can feel your chakras. So when you see your body as one with you, and would be very helpful within meditation to do this, then you can heal your own body from within and just treat your body with love. The universe responds to love. Love is the language of nature, the language of God. So you can see it in when you treat your children with love, they flourish. When you treat your plants with love, they flourish. When you treat your any kind of relationship, you treat your teacher with love. You treat your house with love, then your house looks like it is loved. It is taken care of. It is an expression of love. When you treat your plants with love, they get life and they spring to life. So if we can come into our bodies and treat our bodies with love and trust and respect and in awe, and knowing that our body is divine and our body will know exactly that our body is us, different representation in a different dimension of us. Without this body, we cannot exist in this plane. This expression of us cannot exist. And without our higher self, our body can't exist. So when you see these things and you can understand that they are intertwined, interconnected, they are of the same thing, then you can start healing yourself from within. You can start sitting back into your body and connecting all of these dimensions together to one. And that comes back to a video that I did about the dimensions. When you can bring all of the dimensions into one point, you collapse all of the timelines, you collapse all of the dimensions, you collapse everything into one, then you have extreme power. You have the power of all of the dimensions and forces of nature in one place. And it's always in the perpetual now. It's always coming into being present in your life, coming back into the now, coming back into knowing your divinity and coming present. So sending you guys so much love. I hope that this was helpful. Um, it is such an important point. So sending you guys much love. Thank you for watching.